Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Dancer's Edge podcast. I'm your host, Janelle Warren Conwell, and today we're getting into some tips and tricks to help you out when you're going to a dance convention or workshop. Let's jump right in. My first tip is to prepare yourself beforehand. Now, this is kind of broken up into three parts. The first part is mentally. I think it's a really great idea to familiarize yourself with the teachers that are going to be teaching the convention, know their names, and these days it's really easy to get a little bit more of a feel for what people's styles are like. So you can go to if they have an Instagram page or a Facebook page, something like that, and just kind of see what their style is like so you can get a feel before you actually go into the class. Another great thing to do mentally is just to give yourself a little pep talk and decide that you're going to work the hardest that you can there and really get the most out of it, and being open to accepting if things are challenging and working through it. The second part of this is physically. So before you're even getting warmed up for it, think about the style and how you want to present yourself. You want to make sure you have the proper footwear for the style. So let's say it's hip hop. You want to make sure you have your hip hop sneakers, not doing it in bare feet. And you also just want to have something on that makes you feel like you're in that genre, that you're in that style, and that you're going to feel really good dancing in. I think it's a great idea to treat a workshop or a convention as an audition, even though it's not an audition at all. It just gives you that feel for preparing and having the look, having the feel, having the vibe, and really going out and trying your hardest. And it's just really good practice also for when you do go to auditions. As well, physically, you want to make sure that you are warming up before the workshop or the convention starts. Usually they'll do a warm-up at the workshop, but they might not, and it's really good practice just to already be preparing, already in the space, already have your muscles warmed, because you definitely don't want to hurt yourself. So preparing by doing some dynamic movement and just getting your bodies moving, getting your muscles warmed, not static stretching, so not long stretches. You want to save that for after you're dancing. And the third part of this is emotionally. This goes along with mentally, but just being emotionally ready and focused and having that drive to go in and work as hard as you can and to be prepared to work through things that are challenging. Now, here are some tips for when you're actually at the convention or the workshop. So going along with my last tip, just be open to stepping outside of your comfort zone and trying new things and really going for it. Be prepared to really work hard and go for it. I know I keep saying that, but I just really want you to understand that you're there to learn and to grow, and the only way to do that is to step outside of things that are already comfortable for you. Make sure you keep an open mind. Every teacher is different and everyone teaches things a little bit differently. So keep an open mind and welcome new information and a new way of thinking about things. My next tip is when you're learning the choreography, to save your questions until the teacher asks for questions or until there's a break at the end of the choreography section. A lot of times the teachers will go back over moves and your question will be answered just as they keep explaining things. So just hold off on the questions. You can also ask, if there's like a little bit of a break, ask the dancer that's beside you. So just hold off on raising your hand or asking a question in the middle of learning a section and wait till the end. My next tip is to pay really close attention to all of the details, all of the head and hand, body positions. All of those little details make a really big difference. And pay attention to all the little subtleties when you're transitioning from one movement to another. Transitions are so important and often get overlooked by dancers. So just really paying attention to those details. Are you moving on the and count or are you moving on the 4? So just paying attention to all those little subtle details that might not be said aloud. And also, all that being said, also don't be afraid to ask questions. So don't interrupt, but the teachers want you to learn and they want you to get it right and they want you to have a good experience and provide that good experience. So definitely ask questions if you have questions. So wait till the end, raise your hand up, and just speak confidently and feel free to ask your questions. Another tip is just to be aware of the photo and video rules. Some places and teachers do not want videos taken or posted of their choreography. So just make sure before you take a video or post it somewhere that you're aware of what the rules are around that specific workshop. Another tip that I have for you that I've mentioned before is to practice the combo whenever you get a chance. So practice it without looking at anybody, practice it facing different directions so that you're really starting to put the moves in your head, not just by looking around at other people. And also don't be shy to go up and go to the front, especially if it's a style that you feel is a strength of yours. Put yourself out there and go for it. You know, what do you have to lose? Also, just being courteous and aware of the other dancers that are around you. Sometimes conventions can be pretty crowded places, so just making sure that everyone has some space to move and being kind to each other, of course. My next tip is, after all of this, just make sure you're having fun. You know, we're there to have fun and to learn and to grow, so have fun with it. And my final tip is to go up to the teachers and thank them afterwards. It's really great to introduce yourself. They're probably, have a lot going on and a lot of people there, but just a quick thank you. And as a teacher, it's always really nice to get a little bit of feedback about what you liked about the class. And it's also a really good opportunity to get a photo with them if you wanted a photo. All right, that's it for today. Make sure you follow me on Instagram,